I want to take you now to the voice that we're hearing on the phone live of Mohammed Abu Salmiya. We've heard from him before here on Al Jazeera. He is the director of the Al-Shifa medical complex, which, as we've been reporting, was forced to evacuate this morning. Let's listen in to what he has to say.
Really more than dire. The medical crews cannot function without electricity, oxygen, water, or even food. And what are the last promises you received today? The last promise we made today, that the newborn babies will be taken out of the incubators and shifted elsewhere in a step towards transporting them into Egypt. Then they will be followed by the patients who cannot move, the amputees and those with critical conditions. As of now, nothing has happened. The situation is really dire. We do not know if these promises will be fulfilled, especially that all the medical staff has left. Only very few, including myself, are left. We are out of service weeks ago. We are without power weeks ago, without water or food. Only those remaining in the hospital are left to die. There is no excuse for the Israelis to deny them access or safe passage. The hospital is totally deserted. The remaining patients and victims are lying in the corridor. The hospital is surrounded by columns of tanks. The Israeli soldiers are inside, on the roof and about the hospital. They are in total control. Even the few remaining medical staff cannot move freely. We cannot even do anything without taking permission. As I speak to you, I am surrounded by the Israeli soldiers. We have not been assaulted, but some of the medical staff was interrogated. Our main problem now is those remaining patients and victims. They are left to die. We are helpless. And those newborn babies, we are helpless. There is nothing, no oxygen. There is no even medical staff or nurses to attend to them. We do not know. Between 270 to 300. We are still speaking of a huge capacity of a hospital, but the entire hospital is out of service for weeks. Over the past few weeks, the past few days, we were catering to them with the least at hand. But now we are left with nothing. The entire hospital is deserted. Only the occupation forces soldiers are everywhere. And I'm telling you, if those patients, wounded, kidney failure patients, and the newborn babies, if they are not transported properly according to the medical protocols within the coming few hours, they will be left to die. The total hospital is a wreck. It is a relic. It is totally deserted. The kidney failure patients require swift dialysis. If the remaining patients are not transported immediately without any delay, they will be killed. They will be left to die. Over the past few days, we have been catering with the least at hand. I am here among them. I insisted that I will not leave simply because their situation is more than dire. I cannot leave them to meet their death. They are doomed to die. They are helpless, including myself. That's why we were adamant that we are not leaving without those patients. They are left for imminent death, inevitable death. We have explained this to the whole world, especially the newborn babies. The whole world must act. The Israeli occupation forces have forced out more than 5,000 people, civilians, patients, and wounded victims. The Israeli occupation forces have no excuse. Those babies and patients must be evacuated properly and immediately. I am doing my best to keep in communication with the Israeli occupation forces. I also spoke to the highest commander who took control of the hospital. I informed him that those patients, victims and babies must be evacuated properly and immediately. But as we speak, nothing has happened. The entire hospital is deserted. We are overwhelmed with pain, grief, and tears. Are you able to move within the hospital? Yes, I can hardly move. Very strict restrictions laid by the Israeli soldiers. I have just visited the kidney failure patients. They are desperately waiting to die. We cannot carry out any dialysis process. I also inspected the premature newborn babies. I also witnessed many of the amputees with their limbs bleeding, and even I saw worms coming out of the wounds. This is tragic. This is catastrophe. Those wounded victims and patients are doomed to die unless they are evacuated immediately. Without delay, they will be doomed to death. We warn the whole world must know that those patients and victims are left to die. They are doomed to die if they are not evacuated properly at the earliest. You even said that even food is short. That's true. That's true. These are only a few of the many challenges we are faced. We are left helpless. This is a dilemma. This is an ordeal. Those patients require medical supplies, medication, food, nutrition. But all of these is short. The entire hospital is nothing but a cemetery. Above all, the Israeli soldiers are everywhere. The medical staff are overwhelmed with fear, pain, and also tears.